Hello, everyone. So happy that you are here, that you are watching this. Welcome back. Or if you're new, welcome. So today I am going to just chat with you on some messages and some, just inspiration to get you through the rest of this month and into the next. So right now, I do want to mention that Mars and Mercury are in retrograde. So that means that there's some shadow work that's coming to the surface. So this could be if you notice that you're having any issues with electronics. That is very common during Mercury in retrograde. Also, just any gunk, like things that you've been putting off, whether it's like conversations with people, like those difficult conversations, or just like tasks that you wanted to get done but you've been putting off. Like during this time, it's really about bringing those to light and to surface so that you can get them done and over with and proceed onward. Also, with Mars and retrograde, I think we chatted about this last time, but if you just notice that you're feeling a little irritated, you're having some of these intense conversations, that is fairly common for Mars in retrograde as well. Be gentle with yourself. And yeah, what we talk about today will definitely help us during this time as well. So for today's message, I really want us to chat about charging our spiritual battery, and then also this concept of like charging our energetic shield that's around us. So we are energetic beings. I'm sure you've heard me say this before. We are energetic beings and we are pure energy. Everything around us is energy. So in our waking days, like the conversations that we have, the thoughts that we have, the people we surround ourselves with, and the environments that we're in, the things that we put in our body, all of these things are energy, and they are either enhancing our energy or they are depleting our energy. So keeping that in mind, and then just really giving us tools to strengthen that energetic shield around us. With everything going on in the world and this upcoming month with the election, like really just giving us tools to already start strengthening that shield so we're not being affected by this hectic, negative, intense energy that's happening. There is a lot of fear going on in the world, and not taking that lightly, honoring how people are feeling, but allowing us to get to this place where we have this strong core, like this strong inner power, and focusing more on love, our faith, and nurturing our energy instead of fear. Like we are human, so we're going to have these human experiences, and it's not to say that we don't want to be fearful of anything. Like the fear does help us in certain things, but I want us to maybe utilize that energy and pushing it and using it for something else, right? I always like to say, like, all emotions are valid and all emotions are good, like anger and fear, right? Like you could see as fear, like anger, you have that energy, you have that emotion, but instead of like being stuck in it and feeling like it's depleting you and taking over you, like tuning into some of that anger and being like, you know what? No, I'm not okay with this. I don't want to feel like this. I don't agree with this. And you see how there's that energy of like taking action or pivoting or adjusting things, right? So no emotion is bad. So honoring those, but just learning how to utilize them in different ways. So to really work on our spiritual, like our inner battery, strengthening that, and then strengthening that energetic shield around us, there are a few. Awareness is one thing for us. Like we cannot begin this practice without being aware of how we are feeling internally. What are the emotions, the thoughts, the limiting beliefs that are flooding our mind? Also being aware of our external world, right? The people that we're around, what we were talking about before, the content that we're consuming. Are we scrolling on social media? Are we comparing ourselves? Are we listening or reading to these fearful articles or the news, whatever it might be? Like, that's going to have an effect on us. So awareness is key. So really taking a moment to just drop in and be like, okay, this is how I'm feeling today, right? Maybe you're feeling really stressed and drained. Now I want you to just like go back and think about the past week or so and ask yourself, what were some things that were really draining my energy? Or what were some fearful things that perhaps kind of just seeped into my energetic bubble? Being aware of like where it happened, when it happened, and that's when we can start making those adjustments moving forward. So once we have that awareness, a few things that we can do to either enhance or strengthen that energetic shield and that energetic gathering power within us are the following. So the first one is going to be nature. Spending time out in nature. Mother Earth is she's powerful. So going for walks outside. And when you are doing this, being intentional, and what I mean by that is like not being on your phone. Like, yes, you can have your phone with you, but not being on your phone, not even listening to music, just like hearing the noises around you, smelling, just noticing the different smells, noticing your feet connected to the ground and the earth, and allowing that energetic grounding to happen. So I don't want you to overthink it, right? Like if you're like, I'm not good at visualizing that, just know that it's happening and trust that it's happening. So spending time out in nature just really grounds our energy, charges us up, and is just so beneficial for us. The second thing that I want to talk about is noticing the energy leaks that we were talking about before. So that really comes with the awareness piece. Noticing where your energy is being leaked. Is that scrolling on social media? I will be honest with you, like the next few days and yesterday, I had to really limit my time on social media. One, because my internal power, my internal gathering spiritual power was low. And so I noticed myself comparing myself to other people. And then this lovely cycle of, saying internally, like, I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing good enough, I should be farther along. I'm sure you've been there, right? So I was aware of it. And then I was like, okay, I know that I need to just not scroll on social media and to just take time away from my phone. So noticing those energy leaks and being really real and honest on what you maybe need to limit or eliminate. The next one is going to be sleep. Restful night sleeps allows us to enhance our energy and to just, have a healthy immune system and to feel more present and grounded. So that would mean really looking at your nighttime routine. I always say, and I strongly believe in this, 60 minutes before bed, making sure that you are not on any technology. So that means watching TV, being on your phone. The reason for this being is that those things, that technology has this blue light. And the blue light actually limits the melatonin being produced in our body. And we need melatonin to have a restful night's sleep. We're being stimulated. Our mind starts racing too. So I know there's some people out there that are like, well, I have my Kindle books or I have my books on my iPad. I really suggest at bedtime having like a hardcover book that you can read. Using your essential oils, taking time to unwind, showering your day off, or taking a bath and just like energetically releasing some of that from your energetic body, like letting go of your day. So getting that good sleep and creating a sacred routine for you to get that good sleep. The next one is going to be being aware of what you're eating and putting into your body. So this is so important because food is energy, right? I want you to think about that. So if it's coming straight from Mother Earth, so if it's like your vegetables, your fruit, that is straight from the earth, and Mother Earth, like I said before, such beautiful, pure energy. If foods are going to be processed, it loses its energy, right? It loses its life force. The same thing can be said about, meat. I'm not saying you shouldn't eat meat, but maybe during this time, if you are just noticing that you're feeling very stressed, really just implementing more of the fruits and veggies, and you can still have that protein, whatever it might be, whatever feels best for you and your body. All of our bodies are so different, so truly tuning into what feels best for us. So there might be days where you're like, I just have zero energy. I feel super drained. Like you're grabbing a cup of coffee and then the second one and maybe the third one, right? That is not sustainable energy. So instead, in that moment, being like, okay, yes, I will have another cup of coffee, but what else can I do to energize my body and give it sustainable energy? The first thing that I would suggest is making sure that you are hydrated, drinking lots of water. The second one is I like to grab for like a pressed juice. So you can go to your grocery store if that's accessible for you. You could get a juicer, or if you have a blender, you can blend your fruits and your veggies and then put it in I'm blanking on the name of it, but it's like this cloth, like a milk cloth. And so you can drain out the pulp and just have the juice. Sometimes I like to even take that pulp that's left from like carrots or zucchini or whatever it might be, and you can even put that into like a bread. So if you wanted to do like a protein carrot bread or something like that with limited sugar, or you can even put it into like omelets or scrambled eggs. So good. So yes, I could talk about that a lot. But yes, so just fueling your body, limiting the caffeine, limiting the sugar, because that again is only going to give us a little kick of energy, but then it's just gonna drop us back down. It's not sustainable. The next one, I will say, there's two left, and the next one is spiritual practices. So our spiritual practices allow us to gather that inner power, that inner strength, and to strengthen our energetic shield. Those are the things such as prayer, meditation, yoga, breath work. That could be pulling your oracle or angel cards, going to church. It could be using your crystals, using essential oils, like all of these practices and things and tools that you can use to really strengthen your frequency and your vibration. And when we continue to use those things on a daily basis, that allows that energetic shield and that internal power to be so strong that things that people say or what's on the TV or the sign that you see on your drive home that might trigger you, or the conversation that might trigger you, it's not going to trigger you as much, and it's not going to affect you as much. You're able to respond in a stronger, more aligned way. So spiritual practices. The last one is going to be self-care rituals. This is so important. I think often we don't do the self-care rituals, and I'm pretty sure I talked about this last time. We don't do the self-care rituals until we feel like maybe we're coming down with something, or once we're like super overwhelmed. That's when we start doing the self-care. But how about really implementing and scheduling in that self-care and making that more of a habit for us? Because that allows us to show up differently. It allows us to be, stronger at our core, strengthen our immune system, calm our nervous system, so we're not having or experiencing adrenal fatigue. And that allows us to show up in the world more vibrantly. It allows us to be more present in the world. So that might mean, some things that you can invest in monthly might be going and getting a massage or having energy work done. It could be seeing a therapist. Some self-care that doesn't cost you any money would be making sure to, take a long shower, gifting yourself that, or taking a bath. It could be doing a DIY mask one night a week. It could be just scheduling out some time for you to have alone time to go out, maybe grab a cup of coffee or go for a nice long walk by yourself to recharge your battery. So those are the tips and the tools for you to really help you strengthen that internal power and that energetic shield around you for the upcoming months. Knowing that this is a practice, it's not going to be perfect. Also knowing that you are going to find the things that feel best for you and that are in alignment for you. So trusting that. Heck, it could be things that I didn't even talk about today. But knowing that there are things that you can do to help you get through these difficult times where we feel like we don't have any control about what's happening. Also, just want to remind you, with all this intense, fearful energy, these practices and what you allow yourself to read and listen to, it will have effect on whether you fall into the fear or if you fall into love and faith energy. And I want to say that this world could use so much more light and love, right? So taking care of yourself so that you can be that beacon of light and that you can share the love and energy with those around you, but not from a place of already feeling depleted. Give from your overflow. So fill up your battery, fill up and strengthen your shield so much that you can give to those around you and those you love and to your community and to the world from a place of abundance and overflow. And so it's not depleting you. I hope that this is helpful. I'm sending you guys so much love and light, and I look forward to chatting with you again soon.